Medicine works by blocking things. Medicine works by suppressing things. Medicine works by shutting things down. That's why we have anti-inflammatories. That's why we have anti-hypertensives. That's why you have inhibitor drugs. You have a serotonin reuptake inhibitors. You don't want to shut the body down. The body is like your baby. And when you have some kind of symptom, your baby is crying. Now, if you take some duct tape and tape your baby's mouth, you're not going to hear your baby crying, and that's all great, but you're going to kill your baby. Well, the same thing happens when you take a drug to shut down a symptom, be that symptom inflammation that shows up as arthritis, or hypersecretion of cholesterol that shows up as cholesterol plaques. Whatever it is, if you're shutting down a system in the body so you mask the symptom, you are shortening your life, accelerating your demise. It is crazy, especially in light of the fact that almost all diseases, if you backtrack them far enough, you will find either a defect in nutrition or a defect in the absorption of nutrients from the GI system, from the digestive system. And this is the core of all health and wellness and the core of all disease, nutrition and the digestive system.
Well, I know mainline medical science for hundreds of years knew that vitamin C was literally integral to everything. And I, read stuff 80 years ago where dermatologists told women, if you want to have young skin, eat lots of things containing vitamin C. But now they don't tell women that. They tell them have surgery. Again, another example, just looking at minerals, vitamins, nutrients, because that's one of your big areas of research. That deal with the skin, the biggest organ in the body. What are things that we know that supercharge the skin?
Well, I'll tell you, skincare is really my business. It's my passion and my love, and I lecture around the country specifically talking about skincare, and I've formulated many skincare products over the last 30 years. And let me tell you something. I don't like the question where people say, what's the one thing I could do for my skin? But I'll tell you, if I had to tell you one thing you could do for your skin, it's probably the single most critical nutritional deficiency that we have in this country, and that is around fats and essential fatty acids. Now, when you don't have fats in your body, your skin will show up as dry. And Alex, how many people do you know have dry skin?
Oh, I'm going to stop you right now. There are all these women in my neighborhood, 35, 40 years old, who are super skinny, who are into being, skinny, but they look like shriveled mummies. And I tell my wife, when she starts losing too much weight, I say, honey, I like a little plumpness. I mean, because she looks young and vibrant and voluptuous, but they've sold us that it's so beautiful to be this little wraith. But then I read about all these disorders with seizures and mainline science admitting, you need more of these certain types of fats for your brain, not just your skin.
Well, there's two specific kinds of fats that are technically referred to as essential fatty acids. And whenever you hear the term essential in nutrition, that refers to a substance that you cannot make, a substance that you have to get from your diet. And these two fatty acids are absolutely critical for the production of protein, number one, as anti-inflammatories, number two, for brain health, number three, for the production of something called master hormones, which we know as eicosanoids in the biochemical world. Without these essential fatty acids, none of those compounds can be produced, and the net effect is a degeneration of all your tissue, and one of the first tissues that degenerates in the body is the skin, because to the body, the skin is not important, or not as important as the heart or the lungs. So when you're nutritionally deficient, the first place the body will withdraw nutrients from is the skin. So the skin becomes a window to what's happening in the body instantly. So we can look, by looking at the skin and by reading the skin, by speaking the language of the skin, we don't have to do biopsies. We don't have to cut inside the body to be able to assess nutritional deficiencies. And one of the worst things, or one of the most common things that we see in the skin is dry skin. Well, let me tell you something, Alex. Human skin should never be dry. Human skin should never be dry. There are sponges inside your skin. We call them the natural moisture factor. There are molecular compounds that trap water. If you have dry skin, you have a biochemical deficiency that is shortening your life. It is not cosmetic and superficial to take care of your skin. To take care of your skin from a nutritional basis is to feed the inside of your body, because if you see something happening on your skin, rest assured it's happening on the inside of your body. We can use the skin as a barometer to what's happening inside the body on a nutritional basis, and that's how we want to treat skin issues. That's the number one thing I've learned from being a skincare professional, which I am, as well as being a pharmacist.
Again, you host a show Sundays, and I've done a lot of research because I'm trying to get into a real health kick, not just exercising, but under all the stress I deal with, trying to get the right minerals. in the last 3 weeks, I've been doing this with my wife, and she's a lot more into health than I am, and she just absolutely loves the products from Youngevity, the Tangy Tangerine, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, but also the pollen burst. She's taking it all. That's her favorite before she works out, with all those minerals and vitamins and all of the trace elements that are in there. And one reason I've got you here today is because I've done a lot of research. You know, when I promote a gold company, I do research. When I promote a storable foods company, I do research. It's what I buy from. It's what I believe in. And that's why we've set up the InfowarsTeam.com, just InfowarsTeam.com. And you're involved in it. Dr. Wallach is. And it's just like Costco, folks. It's $10 to sign up, and then you get big discounts, or you can just buy the stuff straight out. And then if you want to sign up others, but that's a small factor in all of it, you know, to basically go out there and share this information with other people. But I've bought a bunch of it, and I've just been giving it to family because I did a lot of research on wide spectrum, you know, really high quality mixes where I'm told you absorb a lot more of it when it's not a pill, but it's in a mix, and that it comes from natural sources, you know, not artificial or synthetic chemical sources. And knowing about Dr. Wallach now for 15 years and the work he does with all this, we have decided to really start promoting longevity. And folks can go to InfowarsTeam.com and, again, buy the products, or it's $10 to sign up. You can sign others up and sell the products to others. It's a great system, and in this imploding economy, it's a great business for people as well. But so many great products. Some of the products you promote and have developed are also there at InfowarsTeam.com. And if people will just try, you know, these true wide-spectrum vitamins and minerals, it will have such a huge effect in their life. And I'm already seeing it myself. My wife is already seeing it. Tell us, dealing with minerals, how important they are, because, you know, the government says you need 44 minerals or so, but in the...
Nothing works without minerals. Nothing works without minerals. Minerals act like minerals do a lot of things, but one of the most important things they do is they act like little batteries. Minerals conduct energy. Alexander Volta, back in the late 18th century or late 18th century, came up with this idea where he noticed that minerals produce something called a voltage. They called it an electrical current, but they named it after Alexander Volta. Your body is an electrical system, and it conducts energy at different frequencies, and each one of these minerals acts as a frequency modulator. Remember back in the old days we used to have crystal radios, where you just turn the crystal and different frequencies would come in through the crystal radio? Well, the body is much the same way. So many people think of minerals as part of the structural component of the body, and indeed your body's skeletal system is composed of minerals, but really minerals function in a much more fundamental fashion, and that is in an electrochemical fashion. No vitamins work without minerals. Vitamins all have a little battery associated with them, and that battery can be considered a mineral. Now, minerals you can't just get minerals from eating rocks. Rocks are minerals, but you're not going to get any nutritional value out of rocks. But plants have evolved an ability to take those rocks from the earth and convert them into an electrically active, usable form. So the way you want to get your minerals is in plant form. Now, eating vegetables is a great way to get your minerals in an activated form. But millions of years ago, there were swamps all over this part of the country out west here, and as the swamps died, the organic material decayed, and what was left were these activated minerals, which have remained with us as mines. And by scooping out these minerals out of mines, you can actually put them in water, and because they're electrically active, they will suspend in the water. Minerals will, if they're not electrically active, will sink in water. They don't float or suspend, but when they're electrically active, they form something called a colloidal suspension. And a colloidal suspension of minerals is nothing more than minerals that are actually hanging in the water via electromagnetic interactions with the water. And when you drink those minerals, you get those electrically activated substances into your body and into your cells in an absorbable form.
So you're able to absorb it. What's
Yes.
your view? What's your view of colloidal silver? Because I know
Same idea. Silver, if you try to do just plain old silver, you would die because silver can't be handled by the body, but in a colloidal format, it becomes non-toxic. So it's the same idea. When minerals are suspended in a colloidal format, they become non-toxic and they become absorbable and usable by the body.
Now I heard that described by my dad when he went to UT and then Baylor, because he's like, I was saying, Dad, I bought this stuff at Whole Foods, this super, mineral bottle, and they told me at the place that it's the best at Whole Foods. And I said, but why does it say it has trace mercury and arsenic, but then mercury and arsenic's bad? And he said, well, I learned in school that it's a different variant of it, and you have to have tiny trace amounts of that stuff mixed with the other minerals to have it be able to be activated. That's different than pure mercury, injected into you past the blood-brain barrier, not going through the stomach. That's why the Japanese live longer statistically than anybody else. They have the highest, diet mercury of anybody. That's because it's a different type, because it's somehow, and again, I'm going off what scientists have said. I don't understand this myself, connected into the tuna fish flesh itself, so you pass it through you, and it only helps upload the other minerals and vitamins. But if it's another type, the type that they're injecting you, the thimerosal, it's completely different. Is that correct?
That completely different form. It's not like a mineral is a mineral is a mineral. There are many different forms of minerals. When minerals are suspended in a colloidal liquid, they become active and they become usable and they become non-toxic. This is the gift that plants have given us, is they've activated and they've detoxified these substances.
Incredible. Well, folks, we hope you check out the fine line of products, and also your purchase of them supports this broadcast, what we're doing. But I believe in these products. I've researched them. I've looked into them, a wide range of them, available on the longevity line at InfoWarsTeam.com. We'll continue when we come back. I want to keep you into the next segment with us. Then Bob Chapman's going to be joining us on the economy in Egypt and a lot more with his Friday visit he does every Friday with us. But pharmacist Ben Fuchs is joining us. The system knows we have mineral and vitamin deficiencies. They know that we have trace element deficiencies, because from the research I've done, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's important to have those 90-plus minerals and then all the other vitamins for them all to work together, because if you don't have them, then the other vitamins and minerals are unable to be basically fully used by the body. And after you talk about that, I mean, give us your breakdown as a pharmacist, your take on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine that we've got at InfoWarsTeam.com. Because, again, I've scoured to find the best products that I believe in, I've done the research on, but I want your view on it, on the pollen burst. Because my wife she doesn't have a placebo effect. I mean, she kind of looks down her nose at things until she really sees the effect, and she likes the pollen burst the best. But, I mean, break that down. Am I correct in describing how all these things work synergistically together?
Let me tell you a couple things. First of all, the cool thing about nutritional supplementation is the more deficient you are, the faster you notice results. Because the body is in a vacuum state and nature abhors a vacuum. So if you are deficient in any nutrients, as soon as you start a supplement program, you notice results right away. And by right away, I'm talking within hours you will notice results. And if you have a deficiency disease, if you have something like diabetes or hypertension and you start a nutritional program, your markers, your health markers will change so rapidly that you better tell your doctor, or you may run into a problem with your medications being too active. That's how fast you notice results. When the body's in deficiency state, it absorbs nutrients rapidly. So this stuff proves itself. It will prove itself to you within hours or within days. Now, as far as the synergistic nature of nutritional supplements, you're absolutely correct, Alex. No matter how good your baseball team is, if you don't have a third baseman, you're not going to win very many games. You can have all eight other positions filled with all-stars, but if you're missing one position, you're not going to win many games, and nutrients work the same way. Even though we like to break them down, and I'm guilty of this myself because of the fascinating nature of each one of these substances, you have to take a complete nutritional supplement program, not individual nutrients. And that's one of the reasons why I like the longevity products so well, is because they allow you to get on a program, and nothing exemplifies this synergy and the program nature of the supplements better than the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, because it has everything. And not only does it have everything, it has everything in a liquid format. It's actually a powder that you put in water, but then you drink it. And one of the first things we learn in pharmacy school is it's not the medicine that you take, it's how well you absorb it.